I feel like we should talk about Bobby Portis.
I find that crazy. So I've heard a couple of things. I don't know what's true or not, but heard his like assistant or somebody got like the pain meds.
Had a prescription for them, I think.
He did?
I think the assistant had a prescription in his own name and was like, here, I think.
There's definitely things on the banned substance list that don't need to be on there. Like that prescription or that pill that he was that he took and tested positive for is a very, very mild like painkiller. It's like so mild some doctors don't even prescribe it to patients because the effects are so mild. So that's one. It's like there's some things that shouldn't even be on there. But we got to make sure we know as athletes what we're putting in our body. And I think that's the biggest thing because like, you know, because at the end of the day, like it's like you get suspended for 25 games. I mean, you're losing, if you have I don't know what he's getting paid, but like if you have a $10 million contract and you have to sit for what, almost 30%
almost
of
a
the
third
games,
of it, yeah.
like you're losing $2-3 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, so like that decision is
and for it
massive.
to happen now.
I haven't like gone to like CVS, like Walgreens, and got like anything like ever. I'm like, this is what can I do for this?
Yeah,
like even if it's like if I'm feeling sick, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling sick.
Yeah.
Like, I need to take something like.
And it's like, you know, and if you do it that way, and it's like, and you know, you hit like, you know, someone that's affiliated with the team or the league office or NBPA or whatever, then at least like,
they know.
They know. And then if there is something where never really happened, but like say like a trainer is like, oh, we can take this, you can do this, and there's a paper trail, and it's like, oh, this is what they were giving me, then it's a little bit different. Then like you might be able to like
appeal it or something.
and get past that. Like even like he said, like with me, like there's times I've texted Chris or Chin, like that's who's head of the PA. I'm just like, I'll text her, hey, am I able to take this? Like, is this something that's like, to like check this out? And I'll send her a link, and like she'll do the due diligence, and she'll be like, nah, you know, we don't think you should take it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm not gonna take it.
Right.
So it's like you have to be so on top of what you put in your body, because like you said, like it's like, bro, that's major implications for the team, obviously, but like for him,
I saw it was like 2.3 or 2.4.
Yeah, and it's like think like, hey, bro, like it's 7 figures that you lose
for something that's not going to help you.
Yeah,
really.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like for that, like if I'm going down,
you're going down.
Now my next question,
that's going to come in like
that. I'm coming back. My jawline gonna be totally different, bro. Y'all gonna be like, "Dang, what's up with Jay Hart?"
Yeah, just some tramadol.
Yeah, but it's like, and like, you know, we were at Bobby with USAB, and one of the greatest dudes, like you're like super dope, super cool. You know, if he's cool with you, he rides for you. But that's you're gonna gas that one up. But it's just unfortunate that was what it was, and I know they appealed it. And unfortunately, obviously, they weren't able to, get that appeal. But it's a bummer.
It's so tough because, like, if you're the league, the rule's like pretty clear cut, right? Mm-hmm. Like, here's a list. If anything on this list shows up, like, it's a banned substance. But I saw his agent Mark Bartelstein, I think, had written a letter and was obviously was accepting of the decision, but also was would challenge the NBA to sort of challenge their interpretation of what this looks like. Was this someone who's trying to gain competitive advantage, or is it someone who was put in an unfortunate situation? And I think it begs the question of should there be any wiggle room for stuff like this? Obviously, there's been far more extreme cases, right, where people are enhancing their performance knowingly and intentionally. Whereas I feel like, obviously, like you said, it's such a minor medicine. It wasn't taken, but also it's how do you determine what was intentional and what wasn't?
I think it could cause the NBA to, obviously not right now, but going into next season, relook over that banned substance list and say okay, what are, like you said, what are the substances that give this person a competitive advantage? What are, tramadol, you could probably take it off the list. Or, I'm sure there's probably some other ones that you could probably take off the list that don't add to a player's performance or whatever it is, but could be beneficial to that person in their own like whatever medical reasons or stuff like that. So, whenever something like this happens, it always, opens the bigger picture of like, okay, let's look at this and figure out like, what improvements can be made for, the protection of obviously the protection integrity of the league, but also of your players. So, that's a bummer.
Your assistant gave you that. Your assistant gave you the tramadol, right, over the Toradol.
Their employment would be terminated.
Oh,
Terminated?
100%.
Or like you give him a second chance?
Second chance of what?
I'm just asking, would you give him a second chance?
Nah.
It's over, right?
It's curtains. Unless you're working for free, I gotta recoup that. I gotta recoup that 2-3. What do you mean?
But I will say, I agree. Obviously, like really stupid on the assistant's part, but and again, no shade to Bobby, but what you both said is that if you even feel something as minor as the sniffles, you're calling the team.
Yeah.
Right? So
there's a lot of parties are wrong.
Mm.
But damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks.
If you don't change the substance of, some of the things on the list, or like you said, I don't think it should just be a boom 25 game suspension.
I don't think it was a boom 25 game suspension.
No, like I'm saying like they had like the whole. I mean, that happened like Thanksgiving, so there was a whole like appeal process and all that stuff. What he's saying, like, does this substance give this person a competitive advantage? Competitive advantage. I messed that one up. A competitive advantage. So it's like for something like that, it's like, okay, like you shouldn't have taken it. You should know what's going in your body. But with something like that, you should suspend it for 5 games, 7 games, 10 games, not 25. I don't like. He's being suspended the same amount as if I sat there and I took, I don't know, some type of PED, which
HGH.
Oh, HGH, yeah,
Whatever, yeah.
Which should not be on the same tier.
Is it just a blanket one size fits all 25 game for
no matter
anything on the substance?
Yeah.
No, it depends what the substance is, I think.
No, if it's on that list and you get positive, it's 25, regardless.
Yeah. So obviously we don't know the situation with Bobby and how it kind of came out. But what does the random drug testing policy look like? Like, is it truly random? Is it after you go out and get 40?
Sometimes it's random. There have been times where like
definitely not random.
There have been times where I got tested. You're probably right. I got tested like at September or October, like right beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. I didn't get tested again until like after All-Star. That was like my first time in New York, like first year in New York. I didn't get tested for like the longest time. At least it felt like that. Like I didn't get tested for a while. And there's times I'm like on the list every single time. Like we get like the notification in the morning from like one of our trainers, like, all right, testing today. Names will be up on the board when you walk in, right? I feel like I was on that list like 3-4 times in a row. I'm like how is this random if I'm getting picked every single time?
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you like seen someone post a photo of like them looking like swole and then next thing you know, like the next day they got a drug test? It's like it's not random.
After the series, the Miami series, when I didn't pass Josh the ball, I think I played pretty well that series. I got tested the next day. My first day out. Right,
for PEDs?
Yeah, I got drug tested. Mm-hmm. Off-season drug test. Once the season ended, like I got the call later the next morning, like, "Hey, we're coming to drug test you." I'm like, "All right, I'm not in New York, but
yeah."
All right, we're gonna send somebody down there. We'll be there in an hour.
Yeah, they be on it. So.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's the league. Who's calling?
Somebody.
It's
somebody.
But it's like, so with me, like you're technically like, towards like the end of the year, like you fill out like a little like
where you're going to be most of the summer,
point of contact and all that stuff. I forgot. I don't know what I put down one time. I think it was actually like last summer or 2 summers ago. I think like the NBA was like trying to track me down for like 4 days. Like, what the hell is this?
Where were you?
I was just in Miami, but like, I guess like, I'm not, I think I like might like, I don't know if I changed numbers or what. I didn't change numbers. I don't know if I gave the wrong number. I don't know what I did. But I guess, or maybe I just didn't pick up the phone.
They saw you
it's-
leg press.
That sounds
because
right. That sounds right.
They
No,
call-
that sounds right.
They don't like. I mean, now it's a little bit different because like if you don't have the number saved, sometimes it pops up as whatever.
Mhm.
But it's like I think I was just seeing like some random number. I'm like, I'm not picking this up. I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
And then like a couple days went by, and then like one of the guys from the Knicks called me and like, "Yo, like the NBA's trying to get in touch with you. You got a drug test." Like, apparently, they called you a couple times. I'm like, "Oh, dang." So then like the person called me like an hour later. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got you. This is the same address. Just pull up."
Damn.
Yeah, they got me.
They saw you leg pressing at Movement Lab.
Exactly. They saw me leg pressing. They were like, "Yeah." Saw my lower body, and they were like, "Yeah, we got to drug test him."
The Roommate Show is now sponsored by DoorDash.
DoorDash has a Dash Pass members only deal for the 24-25 NBA season. They swoosh, you save. When any player scores 50 or more points in a game, Dash Pass members save 50% on an order, up to $10 off. Who's going to make this happen for our first Dash Pass members? Jalen or Josh?
Well, Jalen does have a few 50-point games in his career already.
What about rebounds? That's got to count for something, Josh.
Sign up for Dash Pass and save more all year round with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders. Plus, exclusive perks like this one. I know we all love the $0 delivery fees, especially our fellow New Yorkers always getting delivery.
Guilty. Since moving to the city, I definitely catch myself ordering more.
Use the promo code NBA50 the next day after a 50-point game during the 2024-25 NBA regular season from noon to midnight. That's right, from noon to midnight.
Valid for Dash Pass members only from noon to midnight the day after any player scores 50 or more in a single game during the 24-25 regular season. Valid with use of promo code from noon to midnight the day after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Sign up, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and so much more. Whenever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.